Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to the early morning money show. I figure we're going to kick this back off. I feel like giving out information again. So let's see. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hold up. See where my stream is at. See what's going on. Let me see. Where am I? Make sure y'all can hear me. The audio is good. I think you can hear me, but I'm not sure. Not sure. Let me see something. Hold on, I think I may have muted myself. Let's see. All right. Let me see if you can hear me out there. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, okay. The sound is on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it because I wasn't sure. All right. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the early Monday morning show. I figured I'd get these started up again. I am your host, Sam Mo, and I'm going to start up some self-employed workshops again. Not just for the for-profit business, but for the nonprofit individuals or individuals who are out in the community doing great things, and they're looking for more resources. They're looking to see what's available to them. And that's going to start again at 7 on Tuesdays. But of course, that's not going to be a free session. However, I'll be sharing information on Wednesdays on the Urban Economic Empowerment Show, and I'll be joined by a few individuals for that as well. And that's going to be on Wednesdays at 6. I apologize for the phone in the background. I'm in the office. So the individuals who are supposed to be answering the phone is just not have arrived yet. So hopefully it'll start ringing in a minute. But peace, power, and profit. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. How many people watched the debate last night with Dr. Richard Carey and Gorilla Hebrew? That was kind of cool. Let me go turn this phone down. This is crazy. All right. Make sure you guys go over and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be super awesome. And it is my name. And so I just want to share just a little bit this morning. I ain't going to keep you very long. Hold on. Let me turn this crazy phone down. It's not ready. All right. Also, I want to share for you all, if you guys are golfers or you somewhere in the area, we will be hosting a golf tournament on Saturday, September the 23rd. And it's going to be in Santee, South Carolina. So if you're a golfer, or you know some people in the area that would love to golf, I went out there this past Saturday and met with about 60 individuals, came from all over to golf. And so I know that's a cool sport. Many people have been getting involved in it. And so it's a 4-man team type of deal. It's $240 per team, and it includes your green fees, your cart, and lunch. It's going to be held at Lake Marion Golf Course, and that's located at 9069. There go the stupid phone again. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me turn that phone on. Turn it down. So that's so much better. I apologize. I'm back. All right. So yeah, so this golf tournament is going to be happening on Saturday, September the 22nd. And I hope the screen is moving. All right, next we'll be having a 5K And whether you can run, walk, roll, hey, do what you do. Okay, that's going to be on Veterans Day weekend. That's on a Saturday. It's going to be held out there at Lake Murray. So, though, for those of you who are familiar with Lake Murray is, it's out there on a dam. What you do, you go to the DAV.org website and register. That's at our nationals. And it's $45, but it includes you getting a shirt, a medal, and then your number. So if you register before September the 10th, we had a very good turnout last year. I'll show the pictures at some point. And come out there and just enjoy a good time. And it's not just for veterans, it's for anybody who would like to just come out and enjoy the day. And then we have our, where'd it go? And then I have a what I call a pre-game tailgate party. This is for individuals who need help with their claims. So if you're out there and you need help with your VA claims, we need you to go over to your regional office, or maybe you already have it. Bring in your VA paperwork. That's the paperwork where you may have filed the claim and you either was awarded a percentage or denied. Also, if you may have it, if you've never filed a claim before, you can bring in your DD-214, bring in the CD of your medical records or copies of your medical records, and we will begin that process and sharing with you information that's necessary and needed for you to get your claims going. If it's not you and you know someone and they're in the area, hey, tell them, hit me up. Some Systemo is working on an event that can help you with your claim. I know a lot of veterans, they absolutely despise dealing with that information because everybody expects them to know the who, what, when, why, and where. You know, they expect them to be medical physicians and understand their symptoms or why things happen and occur a certain way. And you're just trying to survive. Listen, trust me, I know the feeling because I am retired Army. I know what you're going through. So we're going to take some time and we're going to get it right. We're going to help you. We're going to show you how to maneuver this particular system to make sure that if you are entitled and you are eligible, that we can make it happen. I know some of you all out there, you may have gotten discharged for whatever reason, but if these are minor things, there you have an opportunity to get those records corrected these days. And so I would definitely encourage you not to give up. Okay, you may know some older vets who those opportunities wasn't available to them, or no one passed that information, or they just didn't have the know-hows. Guess what? The PACT Act ends today. If you have not applied for the PACT Act, it ends today. They extended it an extra day to make sure that they can kind of get you in, right? It ends today. So we need you all to be putting in for those claims if you know anyone. Can't forget about our survivors out there, surviving spouses, dependents. Those of you who may be eligible for benefits and you're just not sure what, hey, we need you there too, okay? All right. So that kind of ends that rant. So what is Mo going to talk about this morning? What do I want to share with you? Just a little bit. I won't even take up a whole lot of your time. I wanted to get on here and I said, let me share some information, some learning stuff from Stash. Just say how to invest in stock for beginners. A lot of individuals say, hey, I know people talk about investments all the time, but nobody tell us who, what, when, how, where. I'm only talking to the new people, the beginners, those who've never been exposed to investments before. All right. So we're going to go through these quick little steps in hopes that you gain some information, pass it on to someone else. If it's information you already know, hey, then enhance your knowledge, and maybe you'll pick up something you did not know, okay? All right, so in this article, we're gonna talk about how to invest in stocks in 2023, a step-by-step guide. Number 2, why should you invest in stocks? Number 3, things to consider before you start investing in stocks. Number 4, how to know what stocks to buy. Number 5, stocks and taxes. And number 6, top 5 tips in investing in stocks for beginners. So the article reads, if you're like a lot of beginner investors, you might think you need thousands of dollars to get started and an economics degree to make good choices. For most people, that's not just true. That's just not true. While there is plenty of complexity in the stock market, the basic concepts are fairly straightforward. And innovations in fractional shares can bring investing within reach for everyone. In this article, you will learn the key principles you need to know: how to get started in 5 steps and how to pick a stock, plus tips for beginners and a quick overview of tax implications. So, if you're a beginner wondering how to invest in stocks, this guide can help you get started. So, if you're new, take out your pen and papers, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and give me a good morning shout out, peace, power, and profit. How to invest in stocks in 2023, a step-by-step guide. Number 1. First, let me ask you, if you're in the chat, if you're listening and you viewing this video for the first time, how many people invest? Put a 1 in the chat. If you invest and you like it, you learn something, you're profiting for it, you're doing great, put a 1 in the chat. If this is your first time, just going on and put a high five or hit a thumbs up, and I'm cool with that too. Step 1, choose how much you invest in stocks. Deciding how much to invest depends upon your circumstances and your goals. If you're investing for retirement, many experts recommend setting aside 10% to 15% of your income as a rule. But there are a few things to think about before you pull out your calculator. Do you have a solid budget? Listen, I listened to a live stream on Clubhouse this weekend. Man, they drilled that in the ground. Shout out to McKee, Gabriel, Pieces. I've been listening on the videos. Like what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Listen, budget, budget, budget. If you don't, if your financial plan has been gathering dust, it can be a good idea to make sure bills and living expenses are covered before you start investing. Everybody know those basic essentials, rent, utilities, insurance, fuel, food, just to name a few. Do you have high interest debt? Facing costly debt or carrying loans that you don't have a clear plan to pay off, consider ways to pay it off before investing. I'm going to show you a calculator that can help you out, help you get started. Do you have an emergency fund? Emergency funds and rainy day funds are liquid assets that can keep you on track when life happens. You may want to ensure you have enough cash squirreled away for emergencies before you start putting money into stocks. Very important. Do you have a clear goal in mind? For example, IRS rules for 2023 allows you to invest up to $6,500 a year in an individual retirement account, IRA, or up to $7,500 in a 50 or older. You might also explore how much you need to save for retirement based on your age. All right, so don't stop at the third point. Don't stop at, oh man, I may not make enough for emergency fund, because you probably do. You just have to free up some money or know where to look to decide how much of that money could be used towards emergency so that you can build it up and increase your net worth. And then when we talk about the IRS and how much you're able to save a year, maybe you don't have the $6,500 right now, but if you start somewhere and use a certain dollar amount until you work your way up, someday you will, because time will pass whether you start now or you start later. It just depends on what decision and what goal you will set now in order to ensure that later you have $6,500 a year. Once you know how much you can afford to invest and what your goals are, you can pick an investment amount that works for you with more confidence. For example, you might decide to invest a lump sum you can afford to begin with. Then add a bit of money every month. Another approach may be to use any lump sums of money you receive, like tax refunds and bonuses, to boost your investments. Let me talk about that for a second. That is a huge break for you. If you get a 10-cent raise, 50 cents, 3,500, 5,000, 10,000, whatever you get, start looking at those funds as opportunities to get your financial status on point. Even if you don't take the entire amount and put it towards an investment or put it towards some type of savings vehicle that will help you start to increase your net worth, take a percentage of that, right? If you get $100 bonus, take 10%. You have to start seeing your money in more places than your bank account, in your pocket. You have to start seeing your money in places that where it's going to grow, and then you can learn how to secure it so it can be there for generations to come. If you're hung up over saving $100, save 10. Why? That amount right there, you probably throw away easily in a week. If you can't do $5 a day, do $5 a week. If you can't do $5 a week, do $5 a month. Whatever you need to do to convince yourself to start to see growth in your financial situation is where you need to go. By the way, some brokerages and funds have a minimum investment requirement. Though some have low minimums, you'll want to consider any minimums when deciding how much money to invest. They may also charge fees. You'll want to account for those in your budget. It's always important to read the fine print before you choose a brokerage or investment product. I'm on a Stash learning tool right now. Stash is one of the apps that I use. I have like 4 or 5 of them, and I just put money aside, little pockets of money aside in each one of them, and I have a goal for each one of those accounts. So you want to do the same thing, but it's a choice. You may have to give up a little in order to gain a lot. But you know what? Think about it this way. Look at this week. If you think about when you're spending, whether you stop at the fuel pump to pump gas and you pick up a soda or a drink, if you don't have a rewards card that help you lower that fuel bill, you're wrong. I would encourage you to get rewards cards. 2, if you're purchasing something other than fuel at the pump, I would encourage you to think about that. Take that money instead of just spending it on a drink that you probably don't need or a snack that you probably don't need. Take it and add it to your investment account. 3, if you're at the pump and you're not using some type of card that actually gives you reward back or cash back, such as some type of credit card or some type of investment card, that's 1 or 2 things going to invest back in that company that you're actually spending your money with, or 2, going to give you cash back on your credit card that you could take that money and help pay off your bill, then you're wrong. You need to start thinking about your money in more places than just your pocket. You need to start thinking about those little items that will help you gain rewards, gain opportunities for you to increase your net worth. And they have plenty of options available for you. You just have to tap in. Step 2. Again, if you're tuning in for the first time, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and share with somebody who just need to bump up just a little bit more. Step 2, open an investment account. Once you know how much you want to invest, it's time to select a brokerage, which is the firm that actually buys and sells stocks on your behalf. For the most part, you must work with a brokerage to purchase stocks. The only exception is companies that offer direct stock purchase plans, but that's much less common than using a brokerage. Brokerage brokerages run the gamut from full service firms with human advisors to app based online brokerages with algorithms driven robo advisors to strip down do it yourself online brokerages. Ultimately, it's all about what works for you and your money. Here's an overview of the account apps and advisors you can choose from. And this is limited, there may be more. The what? Standard brokerage account versus retirement account. A standard brokerage account allows you to invest as much as you want in whatever securities you wish, borrowing minimum investment rules. You can usually withdraw money anytime, and you're likely owe taxes on interest and dividends you earn. Buying and selling assets can also have a tax consequences. A retirement amount, in contrast, typically offers tax advantages in exchange for greater restrictions. A traditional IRA, for example, limits annual contributions to 6,500 as of 2023 or 7,500 for those 50 or older. But contributions are tax deductible and money grows tax free until it's withdrawn. If you withdraw money prior to retirement, you may owe a penalty, although there are exceptions to early withdrawal penalties. All right, this is a traditional IRA. So a traditional IRA is usually money that's put in that hasn't been taxed before. That means once you withdraw, you would be taxed on those funds because those weren't initially. Those were taxable funds that you put away that were not subject to taxes in the very beginning. All right. Choosing between standard brokerage accounts and a retirement account is often fairly straightforward. If you're investing for a retirement, the tax advantages of a retirement account could benefit you over the long term. If you're investing for the short term purposes, you may not want to restrict the restrictions of a retirement account. A standard brokerage account may allow you to invest as much as you want and take money out whenever you like. So know the difference when you're putting your money away. If you're putting your money away in the IRAs, you're thinking long term, you're not thinking about withdrawing on the short term. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're putting your money into it, if you want to put your money in an account and you want to have access to it, then you would choose more of the brokerage option. Okay. The where, traditional brokerage versus online brokerage. Traditional brokerage firms buy and sell stocks and provide a range of other services to account holders. For example, a full service brokerage might provide investment advice, portfolio management, banking, and more. The greater range of services is often reflected in higher fees. A discount firm, on the other hand, might offer fewer services but could also have lower fees. If personalized, advanced, or working directly with a person is important to you, a traditional brokerage might feel worth the accompanying fees. Online only or app based brokerages also offer a range of services. In some cases, you may have to do most of the work of managing your money, and you won't have access to other products like banking. Some online and app based brokerages, however, offer more support, advice, or companion services than others. Speaking broadly, most online brokerages can help you save on fees, but you have less access to advice and support. This option may be appealing if saving on fees matters more to you than a personal touch. The who, investment professionals versus robo advisors. No matter what type of account or brokerage you choose, someone has to pick your investments. If you want personalized advice from a professional, there's a smorgasbord of help available, and you're likely to find advisors to a traditional brokerage at traditional brokerage prices. Robo advisors have become an increasingly popular alternative to human advisors. They gather information about you and investment goals. They automatically suggest a portfolio for you, usually via an algorithm. They tend to be less expensive than human advisors and are popular among younger investors and new investors. Some human advisors even work with robo advisors. When choosing an advisor, you may want to consider your budget, your temperament, and whether you want to be hands-on or hands-off. For example, if you have limited funds, feel confident about investing and want to be hands off, you might choose a robo advisor that can automatically manage your portfolio without much input from you. On the other hand, if you have a bit more disposable income or feeling nervous about market volatility, you might choose a human advisor who can speak directly to your concerns and walk you through your options. Invest in apps and do it yourself investing. Of course, no one is required to work with an advisor, and you choose a fully do it yourself approach. Many brokerages often invest in apps that offer investing apps that you that allows you to decide how invest how to invest in stocks as well as other securities at your own discretion. Many people enjoy researching stocks and markets, crafting their own investing strategies, and buying and selling stocks right from their phones. That said, many investing apps do offer tools to help guide you, like educational resources and automated tools for managing your portfolio. What, where, and who? I apologize. Somebody knocked me off the screen. All right. What, where, and who? Putting it all together. Before your brokerage, uh-oh, hold on. Before your first brokerage account, it's helpful to think through what, where, and who. Who, I mean, you want to take into account your goals, how you want to interact with your money, your personality, and your wallet. Don't be afraid to try out a few options to see what works best for you. And expect that your needs may change over time. That's very important because the way you start, once you start to grow funds, things of that nature, you may want to do something different. You may want to move from a brokerage and change that money and start putting it into an IRA. So just be flexible, okay? All right, so we're on to step 3. We're halfway through. Choose what stocks or funds to invest in. Do you know the difference between a mutual fund and exchange traded fund, which we is known as ETFs, and an individual stock? Each is a way of investing in stocks, but the pros and cons are different. Risk versus reward, impact on diversification cost, and level of investor involvement. All right, so let's go through them. This is important. A lot of people always say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what stocks to choose. I don't know what funds to invest. Well, here we go. Here's your opportunity. Individual stocks. What is a stock? Stock is a piece of ownership in a company. Those individual pieces are called shares. The values of shares you own The values of shares you own rise or fall with the company's fortunes. Investors hope that the company's stock price will go up so they can later sell their stocks at a higher price than they paid. All right, so a stock, let me repeat that. It's a piece of ownership in the company, and that individual piece is called shares. All right. Hey, peace, power, and profit, Mika. Consciously expiring a piece. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure those who are tuning in, you go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber of my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Pros of investing in individual stocks. So here's some advantages of investing in the individual stocks. Number one, by handpicking specific companies to invest in, you're in the driver's seat of every investment. Number two, you won't pay any management fees, although your brokerage may charge fees. Number three, if you happen to pick the right company, you might find yourself cashing in. Four, if investing in stocks that pay dividends, you could create a new income stream through distributions. Number five, some brokerages, often fractional shares, allow you to start investing with even a small sum. But here are some cons. Cons of investing in individual stocks. Investing in one stock puts all your eggs in one basket, which can be risky. Number two, the stock prices of the most highly valued companies are often high, although buying fractional shares can make them more accessible. All right. Here we go. A word on over-the-counter stocks. You may come across over-the-counter stocks as you learn about investing. Though these types of stocks don't trade on the stock market. They're bought and sold through specialized traders instead. They're sometimes called, man, it messes me up. They're sometimes called penny stocks because they're very inexpensive, which can make them seem appealing at first. However, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission, which we know as the SEC, they're highly speculative. This finance speak for a very risk investment. While the low shares prices can be enticing, the chances of losing your principal investment may be much greater. Let's talk about mutual funds. These investments pool investors' money and purchase a basket of securities like stocks, bonds, and money market funds in hopes of achieving a particular result. For example, an index fund might own a mix of stocks and aim to match the performance of a stock index like the S&P 500. Here are the pros of investing in the mutual funds. Funds tend to create a more diverse portfolio, which can help minimize risk. Two, they're often actively managed by professionals. Three, shares are typically fairly affordable. You can earn dividends if stocks are in the fund pay. You can earn dividends if stocks in the fund pay them. So basically, that company has to offer dividends in order for you to get dividends. Cons of investing in mutual funds. Funds often have a minimum requirement investment amount. You usually have to pay fees for fund management. Diversification in funds varies. For example, a mutual fund that focuses on a single sector could leave your portfolio overly dependent on the sector's performance. And 4, mutual funds only allow trades once per day. That's the mutual fund. All right, let's talk about the ETFs, exchange traded funds. Like mutual funds, ETFs pool investors' money and purchase stocks and other securities. But investors buy shares from one another rather than from a mutual fund company. The pros and cons of these different types of funds are often similar, but there's a few key differences. So here are the pros of an ETF. ETFs often have lower fees because they're usually passively managed. For example, setting up to track a market index. Number 2, buying and selling ETF shares is more flexible. You can make trades anytime during trading hours and know the market price at the time you initiate the trade. Number 3, they may offer some tax advantages over mutual funds because they generally don't pass capital gains tax to investors. Number 4, because many ETFs disclose their holdings daily, you might have access to more up-to-date information compared to mutual funds, which only have to disclose holdings quarterly. I like that. All right, so here's some cons to it. Like mutual funds, the actual level of investment diversification varies. 2, they generally do not change fees. 3, change fees. That might include brokerage fees, which may encounter some circumstances, like when working directly with a broker. Number 3, if the fund is passively managed, there's little involvement from a fund manager. Some people see this as a downside. And 4, investment strategies differ among funds, and some, like leverage ETFs, use approaches that may be riskier than others. All right, we on the downside of this, you guys. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. And no problem. I appreciate offering the information. Step 4, choose an investing schedule and continue to invest. Once you have clear goals in mind, you can create an investing plan and schedule. Many people like to invest monthly or set aside a certain amount of each paycheck. This approach allows you to build your investments over time, even if you don't have a lot to invest upfront. You might also participate in a dividend reinvestment program or DRIP, so that any dividends you earn are automatically invested in more securities. Whatever cadence you choose, regular and early investment gives your money time to grow and compound. Including a line item in your monthly budget for investing can help you stay on track with your investing goals. Automating your investment by using an app or payroll deduction can help you stay on target without having to transfer money manually. All right. So some people like to schedule, some people like to do it on choose what they want to invest. That's pretty cool. Whatever you do, just make sure you come up with a method that you like and that you are happy with. And you can change along the way. The choice is yours. That's why I love brokerage accounts, because I could change up my methodology. When I'm up, and I want to push more into my ETFs or into my retirement accounts. And when I feel like I'm at a stagnant point and I need to set a certain dollar amount per pay period, then I will stop investing in the investment accounts and I'll let that just go, and I'll just take little portions and make smaller investments as time go along. All right, so here is step 5, y'all. We only got 2 more steps and I can let you go. Step 5, monitor and track your portfolio. Once you have a portfolio, check in on it regularly. About once a month can be a good frequency to start with. You can expect that your portfolio value will change from day to day, and stock investments are likely to see some peaks and valleys. Don't panic. If the value of your investment decreases sometimes, The whole idea of investing for the long term is to allow for inevitable ups and downs. Periodically, you may want to rebalance your portfolio. Many experts suggest doing so once or twice a year, or if an asset class exceeds the ceiling you set. Your brokerage may do it automatically, or you might have to take some more active role. There can be tax consequences to rebalancing, and you may want to check with a tax professional to understand your options. Finally, it's a good idea to rethink your investment strategy every so often, especially when you have a major change in your life. You'll likely find that your risk profile and investment goals change over the course of your life, and your portfolio can evolve with you. All right, we get this. This is really good. I should have been taking notes along the way. I'd have to go back and check. All right. Why should you invest in stocks? Investing approaches are personal, so hard, so hard and fast should may be less helpful than understanding the potential pros and cons. Remember that all investing involve risk, including the risk that you could lose money. That said, stocks are frequently part of a well balanced, diversified portfolio. That's because over the long term, stocks may differ a greater return on investment than other securities like bonds. At the same time, stocks present more risk than bonds because stocks may be more volatile, meaning stocks values often swing up and down more dramatically than bonds. Finding your stock investing sweet spot, or what percentage of your portfolio you're comfortable investing in stocks, can have you threading the needle between risk and reward. Remember that, risk and reward, risk and reward. And with the power of compounding, the earlier you invest, the greater your earning potential. Here's a hypothetical example of investing over long term can pay off. Say you invested 1,000 in an index fund for 25 years ago. If that investment earned an annual compounded rate of 8%, your portfolio would be worth $7,340 today. And that's without putting any additional money in your investments. To see how investing could pay off for you, experiment with a compounding calculator. I'll show you one of those in a second. And I'm sure if I click on here, it'll probably bring me straight to it. That's why I like Stash. Boom, it automatically has it here. We'll go back and we'll play with that in a second. Uh-oh. Let me see if I get back to my back to my screen. I hit the back button. So make sure you guys have yourself a compound interest calculator so you can see how to kind of maneuver with that. Oh, it kicked me completely out. Hold on a second. God darn it. Hold on. I hit the back button and the whole screen went crazy. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, isn't that something? I was on the roll. Hold on. Well, uh, I don't know if my computer just went wow. I don't know what happened. We'll fix it in a second. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be out of your way in a few minutes and look like my whole little stream. Hey, you guys gotta make sure you hit that like button. Okay? No, there's only a few of you, but I appreciate you. Oh, it booted me completely out. All right, so let me see if I can get it back. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it back. Oh Lord, and I'm on mute and I'm talking to myself. Ain't this something? I don't know, you guys. Internet went crazy. Got to get it back up and running. Computers went wild. But anyways, I hope you guys gained something that was beneficial to you this morning. How to start thinking about putting funding away. And we know at the top of every financial decision or goal is you put together yourself a budget and you learn how to income shift. You got to know how to income shift. I was going to end with that once I gave you the ending information, but the moral to getting where you are is learning how to income shift. Finding those funds that you already have in your budget and knowing where to put it to gain you more freedom, financial freedom, that is. So until next time, peace, power, and profit. And I'll make sure that the internet is not going wild. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Peace.